Hello, everybody. Without notice, I'm coming to you with another discussion. Excuse me. The greatest saying, I have a dream. I am excited at this time, this time, so I may be talking about things at this present time because it's live. But my discussion today regards to, you know, family tree. And, I just want to reference this whole conversation on a forest, on understanding you as an individual being a part of and included in a forest. All right. And I recognize myself as an individual that has been birthed in the world through my mother and father. I'm the oldest of 15, right? And I have aunties and uncles, elders that I love so dearly. Um, and I understand my foundation. Now, speak of a tree, and my tree, I have a name. His name Kamika. And I talk about that tree because it's the seeds that you sow within yourself that's going to grow. All right? So I talk about this tree, and I understand where I was originally rooted and how that divineness of how generationally and how I became. I want to bring up a very beautiful thing. My mother birthed children have juniors. So that's a blessing. It's like the re-roll of us, you know. And when I talk about my mother and father, that's where I come from. And so in every ordained situation, which is birth, it's a life. It is truly a life. One on every area of your tree, you have to understand that you want to nurture it, right? It is needed, if it's an area that is not getting what it needs, it will show. It will truly show. Now, in development and understanding and knowledge, gathering information, producing wisdom throughout life, if you understand those things and those beautiful words and how it is applied to you, you know the things that you need to do to nurture you: eating, cleaning. I'm just going to go to simple things like that, you know. Okay, so, not getting into what, they are, it's needed, right? It will show. It will show it is needed, and nurturing is what we need to do. Now, in life, I don't care how much you get and how, in whatever area, money, understanding, smarts, athletic, however great 10 you are, there is nurturing. You know, the kind of nurturing that comes from, where you come from, you know. And if you can connect to love and divine connection, something that you can relate to. Now, some people, I'm going to tap into that, but I just want to get into the understanding of divineness, a true flow of nurturing, a true flow of understanding love. So you won't misunderstand, what is needed of you, okay? Some areas can be, tainted with, and some areas can be a form of abuse, and we don't understand the nurturing that's needed to even withdraw the area. So I want to stay in the mind frame of a tree, because sometimes when it's next to something that's not getting what it's supposed to need and it's next to you, it can affect you. All right. Sometimes we have to dig deep to get to to understand what we need to grow. I love it. I'm so excited about this journey because all of this had to, I had got an email I shared with some individuals. I love sharing because sharing is caring. And it don't hurt. It's truly love in it, okay? And I'm jumping into an area that I want to develop with because this is actually going to be a long one. And if you have time, just share it, save it, however you like. You also can go to YouTube under Divine Care and see it again because I'm going to get a lot of stuff out in the atmosphere. This is nurturing to me because once I get it in the atmosphere, it's already done. Yes. So, okay, God is so good. He is the judgment of all things. So that's one thing that we don't have to fight with ourselves about how we need to nurture ourselves, how we need to understand ourselves, the things that we need to do for ourselves, okay? You tap in the inner area and that God within you, because some people call this stuff God, just bring that beauty, that innate vibe out of you. That's what it is. But in any case, wherever you king and queen in, that's awesome. That's awesome. You know, it's no judgment in that. It's just truly how you got to operate in the demand that's needed. Yeah? Let me stay on track here. Let's look at the tree, one that has been rooted in good grounds or under good ground. And these type of trees, no judgment, but it just produce good fruit. Okay, so just for example, you can come out of an area that individual will understand and think that they have disbelief or won't even believe that things will come alive out of you. All right. But if you call it in and see those other areas when you're thinking line up with stuff, you're gonna produce good fruit. All right. No conversation can alter the roots, right? That has its own production. Reason to stay connected with, you know, who you are. So you won't get persuaded, get lined up with a different type of thinking that's not gonna be productive to you, of any help. It comes a time when storms come, total differences from the that cause disconnections, misunderstandings, all those different things, all that stuff is related in the branches, all in those other areas that can be shifted and swayed, okay? And it's all right to be pruned. It's all right for reformation. See, we get in reformation. Okay, because I'm excited. I'm excited about the change that's going on right now. I'm excited about everybody lining up and standing for their belief and who they are. Okay, the thinkers, and not only think and taking action. That's the glory. Is taking action. You know, um, all the way down to the roots. All the way down to the roots. Get to them and see, it's good. You don't have to visit those things physically, but you need to visit things mentally to get a true understanding within yourself. Line yourself up for a great purpose is one thing. Two is being who you are in that purpose, okay? So it can be who you are, so you can adopt these things. Being good nature, produce good fruit. I have grounded myself to be rooted young. I have been hurt. I have been in a part of some form of abuse. And when I say abuse, I can call it sexually abused, devastating, take you to a place where, you can practice amnesia. You know, um, But I want to just stay on track. We're talking about how nurturing, not nurturing yourself can affect your tree and also, cause dysfunction to the fruit that you bear. So, you see some trees, they're kind of skinny and tall, brush out really good. Probably some have big fat trunks, and some roots coming up out, so that when I say these type of things, this is beautiful, true divine growth. Okay, nobody is the same. All right, there is, we all need to grow. We all need to shine, get fed, be nurtured, get some form of understanding. But one thing I find so good and divine in this is that being a tree is being rooted and grounded in who you are. Okay, you don't got to revisit so much when you're rooted and grounded in who you are. Okay, grow. Life is a blessing to be, it's a blessing to be birthed in this world is a gift. What are you going to do with it? That's the whole thing. What are you going to do with it? Now, I'm always a person that like talking and then make, I talk about things. Work is dream work. Before, when I was doing that, people didn't believe. They sat back and watched me do it, right? And it's okay. So now when you get certain people that will believe or think you do it, and they want to hop in or do something or say, okay, we can or something. But certain things have to be divine. You understand? It has to be, it has to be divine and ordained for you. Now, teamwork is one thing, but dream work is when everybody is lined up in unity. Okay? So we talking about staying rooted and grounded. And when you become rooted and grounded, it can form. It can form. It can form. I had a individual that told me, I said, hey, I be saying different stuff and I tell different people things and I'm just a speaker of great existence. And one thing about it, I only do what I can do, for me. I can't. I want to say this, but I just want to tap into this area, right? So I had a conversation and the individual said to me, I really like, what you're saying. But what I realized working with you, um, they said a different kind of word. They said when working with me, it looks like I'm the only person. Okay. And that was a beautiful introduction and a great learning opportunity for me and for the individual. Okay. So again, I want to say the individual said that when they're working with me, that it seems like I'm the only one prospering. Okay. Now, any type of actions, I know I am a creator. Okay. I like to create things and put things together. And I put everything together down to the nitty gritty, and then I bring you on the table and it's done. That's one thing. And everything is put on the table, right? But sometimes we have kings and queens on the table that can do and desire more, that can do more and they desire more. Correct. Okay. But see, when you sitting at a little table that you've been invited to, like without your participation, your thinking, your anything, you just been set at the table, you know, um, respect that table, because one thing in this time here, we have to have multiple things to come in to make us, okay? We have to have decisional incomes, different areas of food, vegetables, protein, um, all the different areas. Got to add up this collective things, right? But what I want to do is get back to what I want to say. Anything that you want for you, you have to line yourself up for it. If you're looking for it through somebody else, it's going to be a problem because, God don't really want us looking through other people for the things that we can do for ourselves. Okay. Now, any table that I prepared, there was an opportunity and also was a key. All the understanding is there. You will get a person that'll come in and try to tell you how you ought to do your stuff in your business. That's again being invited to a thing, but it's already been prepared, okay? Now, I truly believe, and this is respect to like what adults need, the respect from our youth, and the youth need to respect our elders because there is a great gap in the knowledge. It is a great lesson in understanding the gap, okay? And when you join up to something, you have to understand there was a lot of work in order for that to happen. So to bring you up to part to even grow beyond that understanding, you have to add to the table. Oh, that was easy. Okay. Now I'm gonna go into another scenario. I was in a position. I could talk about this, y'all. I had one location. I was a child care provider. All right, and I love my babies. And when I was a child care provider, I had a very powerful lead teacher. And when I needed to grow because of the demand of children and the services that was needed, I needed other staff in order for us to be a team, right? So this is a body that we're trying to do, and it's not a tree because I'm my own tree, but this is just boards that we're trying to put together, right? And come together and do things, right, for a greater purpose. Now, it was just only two of us at the time, and another team that hold me transportation, all that different stuff to make the body um perform, okay? Now, what was needed was another lead teacher. Now, in that salary range and what one teacher can make, there's only so much you can do unless you open up your own. But, I have been in a position where people will want just as much as the head person in charge, or they will want to push you without doing what it takes for the growth. Poor work ethics. All right. I want to get our thinking back into actions. Our actions have to line up in order to produce. We can't stay in the thought process. It has to be some actions taken. Okay. So really my action that I needed to take, I had to fire the teacher, right? Because she wasn't allowing nobody else to come in and perform and do what they had to do. And see, I really had a situation that it had to be cut like that. So sometimes in your tree, you got to prune things. Yes, you do. You have to do things in order to grow. And guess what? In that, especially in business, you can keep it real. You know, it's all about the man, and now it's essential. It is needed. We have a new world we're walking into now. So really, there is a need of team and also to grow. And some people do not understand teamwork. They don't understand how to play their part. Because when you don't have a foundation, and you want to be a part of something, you are a part of a team. So you have to play your part. All that other thinking is outside of the body. All right. So a lot of times we struggle with this because we can't even stick together because everybody want to be in charge or they got an opinion. Y'all, we need to grow. We need to grow. We need to be rooted and grounded in who we are. If you are a 10 or a nabob and whatever you are, get that started. Write it down and make it plain. But anybody that's already formed, please respect the body. All right? Because see, I'm gonna talk about that area because it sows bad seeds to you. It's just like going to a workplace and when you get a reference, you don't have a good reference because of poor teamwork. Just an example. All right? Okay. Let me stay on track here. Because I'm just too excited about just being rooted and grounded. And the ones that are, they're going to benefit for the wave of things that's going to be able to come through, right? Because see, you're already clear on the thinking of what needs to be done. And guess what? You're ready to take action. Truly ready to take action. Now, I have some things I want to place on my tree. I got two little toddlers. I got two children. I'm excited. Now I come from a mom and daddy, right? Then I understand that understanding. Then it's generational aunties, and then it's grandparents, and then you already understand. You see all that already was groomed, and you respect that. You respect that. By respecting that, you're able to move forward slowly. Okay? And guess what? Like I was saying, I got two little ones on my tree. So I ain't got to look back. Because the deal is now I need to nurture. I need to do the things, love my foundation, be in love with my foundation and grow it. There's joy in that. It is joy in that. It comes from love. It's just an area of you correcting and all different things. I have a little one that just turned a greater age. Now this is an age that it is attitude. It's just going to be going on. All kind of things will probably come in the years to come. But see, what we have to do is prepare for that by nurturing and being there and doing the things we have to do and lining things up. That's life and living. You know, know that we all must know that is no greater love than the love of God. And in that, that's how I apply my love, my nurturing, my ability to grow, my self-love, my showing love. That right there alone is great seeds to do and to bring within yourself and to be able to secure, you know, it just feel good when you sow good seed. Why you gonna expect something good, right? And you just, you know, and sometimes, we get things that we don't even deserve it. But it's just what we want to do is show love and know love so that we can birth love and produce love and pass down love, right? Because when we get to a great place, we need to go and dig to the roots and come back and help individuals that need love, all right? Because we got a hurting and crying world. I know so many that cannot love because they hurting, you know, or they got hate in them, you know, disbelief, misunderstanding. They done lied to themselves. They not keeping it real. They just need to revisit some things. We just all need to realize where we're at to make ourselves be able to grow and stay nurtured. Keep that mind flowing and thinking so we can make the proper decisions. It's no time to waste for all of the dysfunctional thinking because that kind of stunts our growth. Anything that hurt me, I know I choose life in abundance. Hey, yes, amnesia. You know, um, you know, when a person show you things or anything that you go down in life and experience or even educational or what you're trying to accomplish in life and it comes to some form of discomfort, you get some form of understanding of if this is good for me or not. This is something I need to strive for or not. Okay. Only a fool will carry on. Even in conversation. You know, no need. It will actually distract you from your growth. I have no judgment of a people. I try to keep it positive when dealing with people or even seeing the positivity in them. But what I can allow around me is what is. That's the whole thing. I don't try to link up and do it. I am outgoing person. Yes, I am. I do love socializing and communicating everything. But to shake my grounds and try to be a part of somewhere I'm looking for, no. Mm, no. I look at my forge. Yes, many of the finest trees I am, praying to call around me. That's when I started this, I know that I was being uprooted. I was looking for reformation. When I say I started, is when I started to go online and express my thinking and express the keys and the tools of things of growth and divine thinking. And it allows you to do, an act of divine care. It's one thing for a person to act like they with you or they love you or they for you, but it's another thing to know that they're not, you know. So one thing about it is that you got to stay connected with you. Okay, and then I'm gonna go back to it ain't no greater love than God, you know. Hey, in my household and where I was rooting ground for was spiritual music that went on in the house. My grandmother, she was making coffee, had mountains of breakfast food for everybody. It was a blessing when we thought it was, I don't, sometimes it's however your perception is, but I'm gonna tell you now, I'm rooted and grounded off of good grounds. We listened to the word of God, and she was actually on the radio singing too. So my thinking and my environment and all the different stuff, to do those things and separate the outside world and what they own or what they may perceive me or how that don't go on in the inside. That ain't you gotta keep that inside nurturing so it can grow. You know what I mean? Only you know, if you need to visit things that's causing blockage or something from your growth. And one thing I keep lines of communication open with everybody. I don't feel like I can anybody that you know that I feel I want to talk. Now, sometimes we may not get back what we want to get back, but see, you got to feel free still to be able to put things out in the atmosphere. Let me tell you something, because you're calling it in. You calling it in. Let me tell you, it's sometimes your branch and your all that stuff might be smaller than the ones around you, right? But you got to call it in. You got to call it in. Call that thing in truth, in who you are. Bless those roots. You know, that is such a blessing. I see the positive in people, I told you. I never forget, your areas of hurt when you show me that, right? Or an unpleasing moment. But I'm going to tell you, it's goodness in everybody. It's beautifulness in everybody. I like to speak of those different things. And you want to speak those things into people because sometimes they don't even believe it for themselves. But see, but what you do, you bounce that off you. You know what I'm saying? Because you need to keep yourself nurtured and also secured in who you are, right? Because it's a force going on now. It's a lot going on around us. Okay? We got to. We got to. You know, I just try to stay rooted and grounded in who one thing I ain't gonna do is do anything to hurt my foundation. What I love is we all have to have an opportunity to grow love. Be kind. Help do something. Help do everything you can do for yourself. Okay? So that you can be a great asset. For your truth, dream big. Dream. I dream so big. So I'm going to yell out loud about, yeah, dreams can come true. Yes, it can. Yes, it can, because I am well living into that. You know, you grow, it's going to show. That's it. You grow, it's going to show. People know this in real life, okay? Like a movie. We see things happen. So I know at all means to protect mine while I'm growing. All right? So in that, I want to just say reformation is approaching us. Everything may not be all the way I put out, but I am excited about change. I am excited about correction. You know, Teach your kids unity. Within that, them teach them hope. You know, then they will practice that. in and out. Show love. That's what we want to do. We want to show it close to us, close to us. Okay? So it can be contagious. It's so much hurt and disbelief and so many that's disconnected. So many individuals that don't even know how to communicate with individuals to get help. So for the ones that can do so, line up, get rooted, get in line to help others. All right? You just have to delight and then let me tell you what the benefits are. The benefits are your friends and family. Yes, unity, celebrations, gatherings. Those are benefits. Unity. Just do that. Not on just your block, but be a part of other blocks. So all the social, so everything, you know, can be collective in thought. One thing, and I'm sorry for saying, I'm just so excited and funding being provided for treatment. Let's just grow. Develop come from what you put in. Development comes from what you put in and what you sow. That's what development is. Development is what you put in yourself and what you sow. Okay? Let's think of these things that cause hurt. Okay, let's talk about drugs, abuse, hate, no resources, others hurting others, you hurting yourself. Let's talk about these things because we need to realize the things we need to revisit, get rooted and grounded so that we can love and nurture ourselves. Okay? One thing about reformation for self, you got to want it. You have to want it. Plan for you to live life and grow. Our streets, they need to be protected. You know, they do. They need to be protected. They are breathing for young leaders. If you can see past anything, grow. Grow. Now, with this new opportunity, us getting help for all of the abuse, for self-medicating ourselves or all of that sort is coming forward. And in that, we have to set environments, social positive interaction. I think of a great man in the community I am and just tapping into all natural things. I think of a woman that has such great compassion in her story, and she does great hair. You know, it's so many individuals that have individuals affected by drugs. That is a problem. How you growing, and it's gonna be a problem to your tree, and it's a problem when you sowing seeds. Now, when I say this, we acknowledging that this is a problem, and it exists not only in just that area of addiction, there's other ways that we abuse things. But we want to be able to balance. We want to be able to get into a train of a mind frame of revisiting and reformation. Okay. And some things we're going to need a little bit more help. We're going to need a little bit more support. And we're going to need individuals to line up because this is our new war. This is a real life um, involvement. It's going on all around. It's within us, right? So I speak of these things and I do speak of great things and just keys and tools and things that you can do and revisit yourself. Just pull on something. Pull on anything that shows love to keep light in you. I can't acknowledge none of the negativity unless I can deal with it. But I have been emailed on a day or so for an opportunity that I couldn't even line up for because I um, wasn't a victim of the situation. But I know I have struggles and things, right? These tools and keys that we need to apply with our life right now, it has no name on it. Self-love come in every area, and whatever area you're in that you need to grow so that you can be rooted and grounded in who you are. Produce the fruit that you're supposed to produce. You're here for a purpose, okay? And I got allergies. I just want to let y'all know. My nose is itching and out. They rubbing on it now. I do believe something I'm wearing and maybe something is just broke me out. And one thing about me breaking out, I normally break out on my body or something, but I really broke out in my face. And when this time I'm excited about that because when I break out my body, it kind of stopped me from moving around. But when I break out in my face, I don't really too much trip about how I'm looking because I can still do the things I need to do. You know? I ain't cut from trying to impress anyone, to be looking all, a certain kind. This is natural. When I want to get like that, it's gonna be like that. But actually, mine's come from within. I'm rooted in God. Okay, we are in a new light where where it's just gonna be some extreme opportunities. That alone to prepare yourself for anything, entrepreneurship, to be able to produce the things that we need out here, in the world, locally, um, mobily, get out of the mindset of where we were and start being in a discovery type of mindset. That will be an opportunity. Be productive. That's what we need. Be a part of something that'll bring you to a better thinking, that would allow you to be who you want to be. Okay? That's where you want your tree to set and begin to be rooted and grounded. I have always been rooted and grounded in a church home. I would not care what went on. I ain't never missed, I'm not gonna miss. Okay, that's just it. Now this new life has caused me to distance myself for attending and everyone, and this caused me to be able to express who I am and just show this um light of thinking because you go crazy in these places by yourself and pick and choose to be around because of this new living in the COVID. So I did take this opportunity to break some grounds to rebuild. I'm understanding what's needed of me. I think, and we all are to think of programs and teamwork if you're able. Some people come with ideas, but don't have a team. You know, um, I think people pretty much try to look at that with me, right? I'm gonna tell you something. When my work required a team, it all came together for its purpose. And it was the team. And we all got things done. Now I understand um it's something greater in me in order to produce the things that I want to produce, right? Now, to do that, it has to be understanding, right? It has to be a real understanding of what you equip with. It has to be a real understanding of what you're dealing with. You have to reform, purge yourself, and nurture yourself to understand what are you working with. Okay? Sometimes our thinking is not there and it needs to be there. You have to put work in. I am thinking about, I am planning to um, go for another certification. In that thinking, I'm thinking that this certification slammed my dream, right? Starting with me, what I offer, all of that. Now that we have a new look on life, you know, we in a new presidential um, coverage. There's going to be some different changes going on. Um, how you rooting and grounded? You know, some things we're going to be able to be consistent with, and some things we're going to have to change and know the new consistent way of doing things. And I have to just get back to we have to try to do not reform and don't invite love. You know, you got to set up well. You got to build yourself. You know, you cannot look to the left and right. You cannot allow that to distract you and then get to tearing yourself down because that is stopping your growth. Okay. I had some great people that I worked with, and I had some great people that I grew up with, and I have some great people in my family. Um, everything that is great is rooted and grounded. Um, you know, everything that is great is of God. That's how I love it. I am one to delight into blessings. You know, I want to flow in a line of blessings like money and all that stuff. Just overall wealth. And they buy. This is not about money. It's not about things. It's not about outer perception. It's not about all those different things. It's about you keeping it real with you, root and ground yourself and what you can do. Write it down and make it plain. If you're strong enough, create it. Create it. Write it out. Do not give up on anything because, I mean, we already in practice of understanding that funding is not a problem if you desire. Oh, and if you sow in the ways to grow. Okay? You got to grow. You know, that's why, I love divine care, disadvantaged thinking to a prosperous thinking. You know, divine care developmental techniques, a path of knowing and calling things in, right? Get you a notebook. This is totally about get you a notebook. This and have a notebook on the side and make your life real. Like this and get you a notebook and write stuff down and make it plain. I don't know how many times I've had a conversation and tell individuals, get you a notebook. Don't ask me the same things you already supposed to wrote down for you. My greatest thoughts cause me to take actions. So I know writing them down is gonna activate actions in me. People will connect with other people to draw the energy to do those different things. I'm not looking to be liked. I'm not looking to be a part of nobody's team. I got my own. My team is me. Teaming. And then I connect in body as a team member. All right. And in nonprofit, ain't nobody greater than the next, right? You know, get your notebook. We need to create our world to be better. We need to start producing positive things. I can't understand how um you know so much I want to do. I was telling my family member, I said I want to rap some stuff. I wanted to do certain things, but I don't really want to do nothing that I know I know that ain't sowing good seed. We create our own world. Do not stay on nothing. You know, that's harmful. Be in truth with yourself. Be in truth with yourself. Be honest and open. That helps your heart. When you honest and open. Consider others. Give people the right to make a choice. If I'm gonna tell you, I know if you just lying to me or you just don't lie to me, I'm feeling okay. I'm not gonna judge you, but just come to a point that I'm not listening to what you're saying. And really, if I ain't got the time for it, I know I'm not finna be wasting on nobody. I think I know that it just flow out a lot, right? So consider others when you're doing things. I'm so excited when I talk about getting a notebook. I got this notebook. You say dream big, dream big. Right. I got this notebook a couple of months in a year. In a different place. I had this notebook. This notebook was just for my thinking. And I have another notebook for my actions. Okay. And this is when I'm in prayer. And when I'm talking to myself, and when I say I'm talking to myself, I'm cleansing, you know, replenishing, revisiting, nurturing, all that different stuff. Um, I invited this, and I have a lot of these, right? But now, I like how I look at it. This book is all filled up. It's all written. Oh God, it's all I didn't. This is just one of many, and I'm excited about this opportunity right here. Which nurture my tree, being able to write things down and make it plain and revisit those thoughts and gather who you are and gather things. That alone, you can create greatness. You can prosper off of that. You know, you can. You need to root and ground yourself in something. Get you a foundation so you can build. Okay, your foundation do not include anything else. Your foundation is you. Get yourself together. Get yourself together. So when you're together, you can line up with others. It is a real um, poor state in a broke thing and be like, come on, let's get some stuff together with others. Get yourself together. We may desire more for ourselves than what we can do now. What can you do now to get yourself grounded and together? What can you do now to gain the foundation that you desire? What can you do now to equip yourself with the keys and tools, the individuals, whatever it is? Increment tasks, writing it down, making it plain. It's good to plan long-term goals. I am planning a long-term goal. And that long-term goal are going to have broken down things for me to do to stick to that goal. That long-term goal is the trunk of the tree, right? Sticking to it. Now, I'm excited about today. I'm excited about going live. I thank individuals for messaging me, encouraging me to keep forward with things. And it's not just for that purpose, it is for an even greater purpose that I'm understanding. So I'm going to stay on track. Not able to go as often as requested because I am still a full-time mom. And I delight in that solely. And I delight in this and so many other things. But I do want to thank you all today. Go and subscribe. Eventually, I am going to be learning how to go live on YouTube because it's really not about the followings anymore. I was excited about the viewing, but I really understand what is needed to be done is to put it in the atmosphere. Put it in the atmosphere. God does the rest. That's how this process been going. Put it in the atmosphere. Lord bless me. Put it in the atmosphere and it lines up. Hear me? So now I'm gonna line things up. And I can't even, I'm over here dreaming so big, right? Just all go be in the atmosphere. You know, I'm excited about things that's going on, and I'm excited about the leaders lining up and getting an opportunity to see dreams be manifested. You know, do not give up on your dreams. If you have, when I say dreams, programs, people have so much they want to offer to individuals. But if you're in it for wealth, that's not it. That's not it. You don't have to pay your bills to um, keep wealth. You're going to have to mind yourself up financially to keep wealth. You're going to have to stop buying stuff to keep wealth. You're going to have to sow in right and good grounds for wealth. Now, who are you? That's what this is all about. Line yourself up, write it down and make it plain. You're going to all of a sudden say, hey, oh, you wrote the same thing I wrote. And I was thinking the same thing and I want to do the same thing. Hey, how about we come together, right? Who competing? What you do with you and your money is on you, okay? Another note. Stop looking to the left and right and counting other people's coins. Another note. Stop showing your coins. For what? Real things grow. God bless you all. Stay encouraged.